I think some of the coolest British cars are cars which have got American hearts, so American engines clothed in a British tailored suit, and that's what the car in this garage is today. The car is a Bristol, and Bristol cars are quite misunderstood. Even car fanatics don't fully understand Bristols, it seems. But the car in here has been in here for something like 40 years, when the owner bought it, stopped using it when life became complicated with young children, and hasn't ever got it out since. So hopefully we'll be pulling it out and maybe hearing the V8 of a Bristol run today. So this is of course a barn find episode of the Late Break Show. I'm Jonny Smith. So Robert, firstly thanks for letting me come and have a look at your Bristol.
My absolute privilege.
So am I right in thinking that it's been in there for what, 40?
We
maybe?
built the garage in 1990, and so it's been in there from the moment it was built. So
Yeah.
it's been there for 33 years.
Yeah.
Before that, it was in the barn here. This barn actually blew down in it was an old oak frame barn.
Yeah.
Blew down in the storm of 87, was it? I think it was.
Yeah.
We had two big storms. The car was in there, but fortunately was got out
Before the storm?
before the storm hit. And so we cleared the barn and built this awful steel structure. The barn, the car then had to come out, and we popped it in here when it was built. I think it must have been sitting out in the yard here, somewhere between the old barn blowing down and this being built.
So because you bought it in the 80s?
I bought it in 85. My brother-in-law and my sister were at that time living in Crossmaglen in Northern Ireland. Jack was commanding his battalion there, and so we thought we'll drive up to Liverpool, have a look at this car, no commitment to buy it,
Yeah.
but we'll have a look at it, and then we'll fly over to Belfast and then go on and see Jack and spend a fortnight there and then come back if needs be. Anyway, I had a look at it and I thought, oh yeah, definitely, this is the biz. And it's a beautiful car because it is very, very quick. It's got a beautiful engine, and so I immediately fell in love with it. So we finished our time in Northern Ireland, came back, and I drove it back home. I honestly believe that I felt fresher getting out of the car when I got home than I did getting into the car in Liverpool.
Was it that comfortable?
It was incredible.
Because they're built for high speed, smooth high speed grand touring.
Yes,
That's sort of
correct.
very aerodynamic,
Yeah, and
plush.
It's of course it's not. There's no power steering or anything. It's old school driving.
Yeah.
But my goodness me, it's got a Chrysler V8 marine engine. Beautiful thing.
So your car history is interesting.
Yeah.
Because I've turned up here and you've got an electric Mini, you've got a lovely looking C-Class estate,
Yep.
and a BMW 6 Series, the Chris Bangle 6 Series.
Yes, that's right. Which is another lovely motor actually. That was my present to myself when I retired. I retired in 2005.
Yeah.
And I thought, what should I do? I know, I'll give myself a present.
And you bought the
And I
6
bought the
Series.
6 Series.
What do you think the future holds for the Bristol? It's been with you for 40 years.
Yeah.
Is it going to stay?
Until I peg out, I think so. My wife will get shot of it the day I die, I think. I'm not surprisingly. I mean, she has no desire for that.
I'm guessing you weren't expecting to leave it in there quite so long.
No, I'd always thought once my son and daughter got to a certain age, I was to get it out and we'd start driving it again. It wouldn't matter so much there weren't any seat belts at the back. But as it happened, other more glorious cars have come and gone, and that one's just been rather neglected.
Yeah.
To my shame, actually.
Yeah.
Because it should have been looked after better. I did restore it in about '93, I think it was. Took it down to the local garage in Newtown.
Okay.
They were enthusiasts and they did a really cracking job actually. So it was given a really, really good going over. I suppose 10,000 quid or something at the time. But I was driving 740s and BMW 740s and that sort of stuff.
It's a much more modern car, isn't it?
Yeah, much more modern car, and it's a beauty as well. So,
yeah. Let's blip the door. So it's been here since the mid-80s. And it really got put away because when Robert had children, no back seat belts, probably frowned upon, decided to park it up and then come back in a couple of years' time. And that couple of years is 40. It happens though. Just going to move these bits. So I think part of its life it's not had a cover on it, and then they've put a cover on it, so it's got dust on the cover and dust on the car. And a tow bar. It's a practical Bristol. I want to say, if you're someone that's thinking of parking a car up for 40 years and then calling me to get it out, make it accessible. It just makes it so much easier. This is good. It's not buried under a load of stuff. Gosh. So you can see one of the unique features of the Bristol. It's coming through as sort of like eczema. The body shell is all aluminium, but it's obviously reacted with moisture, with the cover maybe being on it, old paint, and you can see it's blistered all over the place. But this is a lovely two-tone, like a maroon and black. And again, the badges on it, they're gorgeous. They are really, really gorgeous. The bonnet badge is great, and this one's gorgeous as well. Now, what I do know is up until about 12 hours ago, they didn't know where the keys were. But luckily, the keys have been found, and that door was unlocked, I think, but I was just worried about getting the ignition unlocked and stuff. So I'm going to go and have a look inside, and then we'll have a look in the engine bay, and then we'll see if the tyres hold any air. I'm not holding out a great deal of hope. Look at the tyre there. What are they? These are Michelins, aren't they? The front was Michelin, XZXs, 185 16s. So again, 16-inch wheels, quite unusual nowadays. Back then it was a sign of a very, very important car. And as is always the way with Bristols, when you start to look carefully, it's a bit of a who's who of like other car parts bins. So I can tell at the back here, this fin, this shape, and definitely the rear light cluster is from a Hillman Minx of the same period. Oh, it smells amazing. It does smell so leathery in that way that grand old cars do. Right, let me wind this window down in case I can't. Yeah, see, this is another sign of a beautiful car. Look how well geared. Look at the gearing on that. That's like 2 cranks and it's all the way down. That's lovely. It looks in really good condition in here. You can see the push button automatic. So these buttons here control the auto gearbox, torque flight gearbox, because American Chrysler engine, American transmission. They didn't do a manual of this era, I'm pretty sure. But this part worries me. It's been stored with a handbrake up, which you know that means we're going to be climbing under the back of the car imminently and unseizing brakes, but it's lovely. Headlining's really good. An amazing back seats, the way they're sculpted in, especially the armrests. There's this huge well of storage into the rear quarter panel. Carpets look good. Can't see signs of evil rodents, which is good. And the other thing I found, see a load of vouchers on the floor. The Shell 1986 promotion commotion, whatever the hell that is. There's loads of them. And a vintage can of WD-40. That'll still work. I'll probably need that in a minute. Now that's okay. So this is the risk. This is the cut. This is the care advice slip for this car cover. Yeah, I thought it was. It says stainless systems, I was just wondering whether or not the car does have a stainless exhaust, because the tailpipes look like they're made of stainless. Certificate of motor insurance that expires in 1986. I bet that's when it was put in here. I bet that's when he put it in here. So here it is, Robert.
Yeah.
While you've been out, I've pulled the cover off, managed to get the door open. This button is jammed, but it opens. I'll tell you what's really nice is the way the door shuts and opens. Look.
Oh, no, it's perfect, isn't it?
It's really, really nice. And
it's very reassuringly solidly built, actually.
And also what's reassuring is I don't think mice have been living in it. So that is really good.
I would put money on them being in there.
Yeah, I'm quite shocked. It's pretty good.
And those seats were
I
always
found the
amazing
Doomsday
comfort.
book.
Yep.
Which it really is like a Doomsday book. It's incredible, the instruction manual. And I'll actually be able to use this for a bit of reference, because my knowledge of these cars is low.
Right.
Just because I've never...
It's a beautifully put together manual too.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I'm any kind of engineer, but yes,
Now,
tools.
talk to me about these. I found them in the car. They look a bit specialist.
I haven't got a clue. I've been missing that for 30 years. This one, however, is to open the wing. The battery is behind here. After the length of time, who knows if it'll open, but or indeed what condition.
So,
it's hinged under here.
Oh, yes.
And so, you put the key in under there somewhere. I can't see it. And this opens the whole of the side of this wing. And there'll be a battery in there, but I expect it's acid everywhere.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, sorry, it's moving. Yep, there we go.
Is that it?
I think so.
One side is. Hang on, it's probably a bit seized. It might be. There we go. I think that's it.
Yeah,
yes.
that's it.
Okay, so it's...
That's fascinating, and there's a socket in here as well for a regular light.
Do you know what? This is the wiring loom, isn't it here?
Yeah, that's right.
That actually looks in really sound order.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have... Oh, bloody hell. But you know what? That's rubber. That's
Yeah,
an old
all the rubber seals would have gone.
It's gone. I mean, look around the windscreen. It's turned into a licorice all sort.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah, no, that's what happens.
No, it's not. It's looking fairly positive. That's all good. When was the last time you looked at the engine?
Oh, 30 years ago.
Okay, let's have a look. There we go.
That's a proper engine.
That's a proper bonnet. Blimmin' heck.
Yeah.
That's a seriously long bonnet, isn't it? The old Chrysler.
They made them properly in those days. Look at this.
They did.
Yeah.
So there's something that's been, there's something that looks like it might have been nesting in here. There's nuts, crisp packets and leaves. Hopefully they've eaten nothing but crisps and nuts and not wiring.
I know.
But you never know.
Well.
This was a pretty powerful engine for its time, pretty powerful car.
It's a Chrysler Marine V5, V8.
Yeah.
5 litre.
Yeah.
Beautiful car.
I don't know my way around the small blocks so well, but I have a Dodge which has similar era V8.
Good tension on that.
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll take the air cleaner off to have a look at the carb, see where the fuel comes in. I can get to plugs down here.
Smiths.
Yep, Smiths. Yeah, and there's the Bristol plaque there.
Yep. They did these things really well. Somewhere around here, and I can't remember where it is. There's an electric socket, to plug in your whatever razor or something or other.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There.
Have you got it?
There. It's a 3-pin, little 3-pin.
That's it, 3-pin, round pin.
Now, I've brought the trusty piece of technology that I always use, but I've been bullied into using this by the people behind the camera. So let's do this, because we don't have all day. It means I can spend a bit more time on the engine. Seems too easy. It's too easy. These cars were designed to cruise at about 120 miles an hour with your Michelin X radial 175R16s. Oh. Not sure I would do 120 with these. Well, certainly not these ones. I think, to use a technical term, I think this tyre's wanked. But we'll see. We'll see. Look at that. There's a lot of other balls under here. I reckon a cricket ball, maybe a squash ball, and a tennis ball. .21 psi just for the time being. I can't believe that's holding air. You can't buy these yet, but you will. They're coming. They're in development right now. I'm not joking. This man is called Rob, not to be confused with Robert, who owns the car, but he is Robert's future son-in-law. And it's his fault that I'm here, because you persuaded Robert to let me come and have a look at his Bristol. So I want to say thank you for that.
No worries.
He's also quite handy with the spanners. So while I'm trying to do some stuff here, Robert's going to put, not Robert, is going to put a different battery on there. I've also got a jump pack just in case, and we've got leads because we don't know how much cranking may or may not take place. I'm going to bypass the fuel system after doing a couple of checks. I've just taken the distributor cap off. Cap's in good nick, rotor arm's in good nick, points look good. So linkage has been freed up for the carburettor. Oil is in good condition. I may take all the plugs out. I'm going to just decide on that in a sec. I'm not promising a damn thing though. I'm not.
See what happens.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I will say about Bristols, quirky or not quirky, they're really well made.
Yeah, so it's pretty solid.
Everything feels very substantial. I like it.
Oh, might clear out the little home. Hopefully no residents in there.
But hopefully they've not been dining out on all the important parts of the car. They've been
all the wiring.
Yeah, I think we're all right. But
It does all look remarkably intact.
there's 8 spark plugs. You don't need to see me do all 8 of them. If you're watching this thinking, I know someone that's got an old car somewhere that might be of interest, let me know. Contact us, there's an email address in the description. Far away, I'm all ears. Or maybe, like Rob here, when we get to the barn find, he says, actually I know of another car, it's just in the hedge over there. There is another car in the hedge over there. It's not quite as interesting. Nevertheless, it's still a car in a hedge. I'll have a look at it in a minute. What's better than a barn find? It's finding 2. This is a real barn. It's not strictly in there, but we've come here for the Bristol, but there's a bonus, look. Apparently it's been here for probably 50 years. And I don't even know what it is. I think it's an Austin of some sort. Pre-war. The front's fallen off it and it's actually propping up. This has fallen onto it. Poor thing. Probably never going to go back on the road again, but just goes to show there's always something. There's always something lurking in the bushes. Right, we've left one plug out. We're going to see whether we get a spark, but we've disconnected the fuel line. There is actually fuel still in the fuel lines, amazing. But we don't want that to go into the car because it's probably very old and not combustible and manky. Rob's going to sit in the driver's seat, turn the key, see if we have dash lights.
Yep.
And if we have dash lights, then we know that the starter will probably start. And then if we've got a spark, then we'll introduce fresh fuel. That's the science. All right, let's see what happens. Let's see if we get any fuel coming out and any sparky muck spark. Whoa, well, the electric cooling fan works. I didn't know it had one. Oh, it's got a pair of electric fans.
So,
Of course, there's no crank-driven fan. How silly of me. Okay, so the fans are fanning. Bloody hell. Do you know where is there a fan button?
there's loads of switches, but none of them are labelled.
Well, it's a Bristol thing. Bristol people are too cool to have labelled switches.
Headlights.
That's what that is.
Is the lights working? Are they?
Yeah, they all worked.
Oh, no, yeah. That's full beam, isn't it? These are full. What? Only one light isn't working? Who said British engineering's crap? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put a cloth over the carburettor.
Yep.
I don't mind me getting dusty. I just don't want dust in the car.
Yeah.
Right, let's just do it. I've got the carb covered up. I'm willing to get a face full in the name of YouTube.
You wanted me to crank it over, yeah?
Yeah, just a little, like 2 or 3 seconds.
Are you ready?
Okay. Well, that loosened off quickly enough.
Well, he didn't say spark plug. He just said.
Bit of a discussion going on. Slightly frustratingly, we've gone through the process of it, and we can't get a spark at the spark plugs. So I'm going to go back through methodically and re-clean the points, re-clean the distributor cap contacts, and re-clean some of the plugs. It's turning over nicely, really freely, and everything else seems to be in place, but that's the issue. So before we can introduce fuel, we've got to make sure we've got a spark, otherwise there's sort of no point. And we're running out of time, which is annoying. And if I want to drag it outside, I know I've got to unseize the brakes. I have been putting that off because it is a horrible job, but I just wanted to see if we could strike the thing up first. But you never know. You never know what a car's going to be like when it's been sat for 30 years.
Different hands. Yeah, we're getting.
Oh, you dirty swine. Is that... Are you both making a noise?
Well, I'm getting spark.
Yeah, you are. There is a spark. There's
On
two.
there?
Yeah, there's a spark.
Sure.
There, yeah, definitely. 100%. Yeah.
No spark. Take a spark plug out of the GT6, plug it in there, see if we get a spark on a proper spark plug.
New plug.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, done it.
Stop.
They-
Right, so if the points are definitely shut,
Yeah.
okay, so now take the lead off the middle of the distributor cap, the king lead,
Yeah.
and get somebody to hold that, 5 mil away from the block or whatever.
Right, so it's still connected to the coil. So put that king lead somewhere near the block
Yeah.
or a shiny bit of metal.
Yeah, it's the same test, but now switching with the distributor.
Right.
And make sure that you are getting contact, that your spit ends up on the carbon.
Ah, I see. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's just try that, Greg. Hang on a
Ready?
minute.
Ignition on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, as is the way with barnfind, sometimes it all gets a bit frantic and a bit annoying, and you just got to try everything, or you run out of ideas, which is why you phone a friend / brother. And Greg's just explained some tests we can run, and we have got, albeit fairly weak spark, but we have got sparks. So now we're going to introduce fuel. New fuel, not old fuel. And let's just see what happens. We'll give it the strongest starting power that we can. We give it the freshest E5. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's see if the Bristol wants to fire.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
ready?
Yeah, ready.
Ignition on.
Yeah.
Okay, firing now.
Oh! Okay. Right. Well, that's trying.
That is trying.
That is trying. I think it's time to get the can of hope. I don't think there'll ever be a barn find where I go home not smelling of fuel. So the old Chrysler engine is a mechanical fuel pump. This is not a pressurised fuel injected car, it's just carb, old school. So I can't leave the can of hope running with the electric fuel pump because this is really for a pressurised system. So I'm just going to give it a quick tickle like this. Clear?
Yeah.
Come on, you beautiful hound. Ready?
Yeah.
That's running on maybe 6 or 7.
Doesn't matter. It's running.
Well, see, if I was manning the fuel, so if we do that again, I can just tweak the fuel pump. Are we ready?
Yep.
Give it a quick tickle on this.
Okay.
Okay.
Ignition on. Crashing over.
Sounds all right. That sounds all right.
The dynamo is making some pretty aggressive.
I can see that. The dynamo is sparking on the back. Yeah, that sounds all right. Listen to that. That's lovely.
Yes, it is actually.
That is really lovely. Sound nice?
Sorry?
Does it sound nice?
It sounds great actually.
Yeah.
I mean, it's everything you fall in love with over
Yeah.
whatever.
This is what you fell in love with 40 years ago.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
The fridge has taken a bit of a
Oh, yeah.
battering. There's a large black mark on the thing. Your freezer's got
One of Robert's chest freezers might have just taken one for the team. Go around the back and have a look. Against quite a few odds, the Barnfind Bristol 408 is running really nicely. The tyres have stayed up. No, we haven't driven it outside. No, we haven't cleaned it. We just decided to invest our time in trying to get the V8 to fire. It's lovely. Robert stood there going, "Blimmin' hell, I haven't heard that for a while." I hope you've enjoyed this episode of The Late Break Show. If you've got a car that you think's of interest in a hedge, in a real barn, in a garage, wherever, let us know. There's an email address in the description below. If you haven't subscribed already, go and subscribe. Why not? I dare you. I smell a fuel. It's all right, isn't it?